Hello, today we're going to talk about the physical environment, which is really the dimensions of the environment in connection to human behavior. You know, um, how do we feel, for instance, when we're outside, right? Physical space. Are we breathing the air, being in nature? Are we, in a beach? Is it peaceful, right? Natural environment settings, and how we as humans, react. So we have, emotional responses to that environmental factors, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, excitement, non-excitement, responsibility, negligence, we could be satisfied, of course, or not dissatisfied, and excited, and all those things. So, and then we have the behavioral outcomes, the acceptance and problem solutions, or avoidance. You may, go out and have a walk in the forest, trail, and it may make you accept or find a resolution to an issue. There could be that it's the opposite, that you have problems, and then you go to work and it's just noisy, and and you avoid. The same thing could happen in reverse, at home, because it is the environment, your home, your school, your work, those are all environment. We'll continue talking in a little bit more detail. So this is another figure that, kind of could give you an idea. Now, this one kind of ends up in creativity, but you can easily, change this to, something else that is, not creativity. Physical environment, an element, a space, a building, a location, you can see all of this, these are positive, right? So it be conducive to, creativity, the mood, the meaning. I have another, more, I guess, complicated figure here, and the environment, environmental stimuli of influence in well-being, positive or negative, right? So there could be artistic, listening to in a concert. Well, actually, that could be the second one, but, watching in a museum, right? Biological, spatial, natural, so basically all of your senses could be, being stimulated, and, or positive or negative reactions, outcomes, or behaviors, right? So, so here you see, the five senses are being, stimulated, right? Physical stimulation, external, information or stimuli, right? And there are, well, you can follow the sort of cycle here, and so you see how, it prompts, responses. But, obviously there are certain things that we talk already about, the belief, your wants, your urges, your needs, right? But, that is, for some people, I don't know, listening to classical music may be peaceful. For others, they just have to run out of the room. So that may have to do with, some of these impulses, right? You know, believe, motive, where you grew up, even in age, right? So, what I was saying, oh, I don't know if you are aware that, colors influence our behavior. There's been talk that, I'm not going to remember this right, but, coloring, waiting rooms in a certain color makes people, calm down, and, colors make us feel, so, that is also environmental. The same way, or in a different way, if that's, if you restrict the, being exposed to, let's say, outside, the outside, for instance, especially now with the COVID-19 pandemic, most children are staying indoors. And, although we probably would have said that before, oh, kids are watching too much media and their computers and staying inside. Well, yeah, that too. But I think now it's even more of a, case for kids staying inside. So, is that going to affect their behavior for not having time outside? Well, you get the point. Now, in the same way, which I mean, children, well, and adults do, being inside the house, it could be a connection that, it's a, bad neighborhood, So all of the kids can't remember which chapter was, maybe 2. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call, so I'm going to pause for a sec. Okay, continuing, I'm referring here to the figure in the bottom here. Follow the, that the yellow arrows are flow of inference through the system, and, this blue short ones is internal stimulation, but the real the focus should be on this external stimulus. All right, let's move on. So, as you can see, in Exhibit 7.1, there's several theories. Pretty much, I already talk about stimulation theories, if you, remember. So, there could be, a stimulus overload, too much sound, too much light, etc. So that's pretty much, what you get from, your senses. Now, there's another one, would have to do with the physical environment. Here, control theories, which are privacy, personal space, territoriality, and crowding. Well, that pretty much, I would think, could be self-explanatory, right? Privacy, in the book, they have a picture of cubicles in an office. Maybe that's not private enough. Maybe it is, depending on the person. Personal space. We all know about that one, especially now. Territoriality. Well, we are all sometimes territorial, not only in ways that are, well, since we're talking here about the environment, yes, we're talking more about, the space, rather than, you're entering, this is, this is my area of expertise. Rather than that, it is more, you feel, you know, territorial in terms of, you aren't, you're a JSU student, so, you feel, territorial about that and follow, you know, sports, all of that. Crowding, I guess is the same idea. For privacy, it could be just one person sort of violating that privacy, but crowding, it's more like a group. In a way, obviously, as you can see, they're all connected in this control theory because, how much of control are you, or how much are you able to control of their environment? Because we all have different, desires for, control over our physical environment. And sometimes it can go, by the window, everything out the window, and we lose control. And, well, you can probably follow that that logic quite easily. Behavioral settings series, behavioral settings, program staffing, consistent uniform patterns. You may be used to, okay, in your house, you want things certain way, or I guess a good example, which we all have experienced recently, is that you may have liked to come here, every other week, face to face, but now you're in a different environment. It's all online. You may be a parent of a child well, it could be from elementary to high school, even college, because, some of us around here are old enough to have well, never mind. I won't discuss my age. But all of those students in our house, that used to be out in their respective schools, So, that could also be crowding, but, that, you're not used to, I don't know, 5 people being in the house so much, and then things would not be the same because, you're the boss in the house and you like things to be in a certain spot, or, etc. So the eco-critical theories, this is more in the area of where, for instance, you see the term here, deep ecology. That means that that you believe, or you're in a good, sorry, not belief, but also is belief, but you have this connection, a really deep connection to your surroundings, to nature, right? It's not all about, technology necessarily. It's not all about, other humans, there's, which is, you are, it is important, but there's all those other, that you're connected somehow to the birds and the, other animals, etc., and trees. Ecofeminism, that's basically, we live in a patriarchal society in which, the old adage that, humans are destroying the environment, but you can argue, well, you can blame men, and that ecofeminism is, sort of going against that very patriarchal way of dealing with the environment, that, destroy and use it for benefits now. Okay, so I think that's, so I already talked about all of this. Also want to talk, Now, I want to move on to, because of time, yeah, environmental justice. We talk about the, therapeutic um, um, use of architecture. You know, if the way you respond to a building, does it makes you feel, rest or relax? You know, are there things that prompt you to feel like, oh, I want to go there because it looks inviting and looks, so the surroundings. So it's a lot of things. It could be the lobby of a uh, of a office or an office building. The lobby could it could have things that promote certain, hopefully positive feelings. Um, Technology, again, it is part of our environment. Think about how all of these things, iPads, phones have affected, maybe instead of talking on the phone, which you would have at least an auditory stimulation. You're texting, nothing wrong with texting necessarily, but are we again staying inside too long and not even the old sun rays, that what is it like if we don't get enough rays, then we don't get enough vitamin D, right? But it's really here we're not talking about that the getting vitamin D, but how that affects your behavior, relax or not, or being deprived of sunlight, affects us biologically and behaviorally, right? So connected. Healing environments, we what do we think when we hear that? Um, Less noise, right? Peaceful nature, sounds, right? That makes us, meditation, conducive to all of that. Not that meditation is an environmental aspect, but, conducive to that. Urban and health, yeah, there's obviously a human, not human, urban penalty. You don't have as many streets, there's the cars, the noise, and other things like that. And some people have tried to, especially designers, urban planning, and to figure out ways, put more green, in the areas, or put more areas to walk, to etc. And yes, we have again a place attachment, or connection, right? That was the place that I first, fill in the blank, whatever, da 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 da. Culturally, it could be that's where my church used to be, or that's where the church that I used to go when I was a child, and my parents, oh, my grandma who's no longer with us, So there's a physical and physical environment because it's a building, right? But it does means a lot, right? Um, Homelessness. Okay, so what's the connection here? Well, I guess the connection here is that how the people who doesn't have that physical environment to have literally a roof over their heads, which, sometimes they do have a roof over the head, but they're in a transitional, maybe they're with a family member, not feeling that roof over the head belongs to them, or they don't, so, there's they're deprived of that sort of environmental factor or connection. Okay, accessible environment for a person with disabilities. Again, if if you're in a wheelchair and you need to do your whatever, anything, right, outside, and you see that government facility doesn't have a ramp, or that or that they're kind of elevators, right? Little elevators may not be working, right? You've seen those, right? Lift you, I don't know, a few feet above to the next level, and anyway, they're full wheelchairs, and it all, the more demanding the environment is, right? For if coming to work, it's well, I know I'm supposed to be talking about disabilities, but just to say, if coming to work and every time you hit that highway or street is always so crowded and so ugly and not, etc. And so it is important, in effect, the behavior and the way we feel. Well, today I make good time, so I don't, basically finish this. If you uploaded the PowerPoint before today, and today is the September 29. My time now is around 3:30, 3:40. So, I'm gonna be adding I added some of this diagrams. So, except for that, if you already downloaded, then you pretty much have everything you need. But I'll upload this new version. Okay. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And remember, there's probably some time, I don't know, I can't remember, 40 days, 39 days. Please remember to vote. Register and vote. Register and vote. All right. Talk to you soon.